The brothers Terry are family. Sadly, that does not mean they are family friendly. This podcast almost certainly contains language that will offend their mother, and probably yours. Sorry, moms. Also, their opinions that you probably don't care about may or may not be shared by those who sponsor this podcast.
What is this, fucking amateur hour?
It is amateur hour. How much you know what that means?
It means it's no time like bro time. Cue that theme song. Can I sing some doo-wop songs into it?
No.
Okay.
No perfect quality mic will ever make your doo-wop sound good.
You don't know my doo-wops.
Give me a doo-wop.
Fair enough. Russell, do you want to go with a doo-wop? You want to sing Blue Moon?
What?
Blue Moon.
Like from
Wop,
Grease
wop,
Lightning?
wop, 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 wop.
Blue moon,
Doom, doom, boom,
you saw me standing alone.
I just want to listen. That's good.
That was real good.
That was pretty
That
good.
was pretty good. You know
that.
what? Fuck this podcast.
Let's take this shit on the road.
Yeah, it would be fucking barbershop quartet.
Tri-tet.
Barbershop. Oh yeah,
No,
tri-tet.
I'll just listen.
Okay, barbershop duo.
Do-tet.
Do-tet.
I'll be there to watch.
Or would it be a bi-tet?
A bi-tet. That sounds even worse. That's a quartet gone sexual.
Sweet. Be the first of its kind.
Sweet. Yeah, so I'm Jamie, the oldest brother, and I have one body piercing.
That's disgusting. I'm Steven, the middle brother, and I had 2 failed body piercings.
I'm Russ. I got this 2. Ears count as 2, or is that 1?
Why would you have one
how many
ear?
fucking ears do you
Both
have?
my ears. Both my ears.
And that's how many?
2.
Just making sure. You
Just
had 2
2.
ears. You seemed to
2 ears.
So-
I once pierced my ears, and it didn't take because it was amateur hour.
didn't take was an understatement. I remember how awful that was because you were trying to hide it from mom, and you did pretty good.
She
'cause-
forbade me from getting my ears pierced, and I straight up ignored her because my buddy, he did some piercing and offered to do it in the middle of ceramics class, and I left, and then all of a sudden he pulled out a kit. He said, "No, we could do it right now." So I went for it,
and yeah, and you came home and you hid it underneath your beanie.
and my long surfer hair at the time.
And it was, you were really good about keeping it concealed, but we had a family event or something where
Dinner
mom,
somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, mom said you can't wear your beanie. Like, don't wear your beanie. And because you wore the beanie all the time. And so you weren't supposed to be wearing your beanie. So he's, okay, so I'm going to take out the piercings. So you took out your piercings for...
Well, they had been in for about a week at this point, and I wanted to, like, if I'm going to take off my beanie and stuff, I wanted to clean them. Figured maybe I could try to tuck them under my hair or something too, but I just wanted to make sure the area was clean and stuff like that before, proceeding to try and hide it with just my hair. And so I remember taking it out. It was super fast. They've been pierced for a week. It's not like they're going to heal up in 30 seconds. Oh boy, we were wrong.
You came downstairs and you're like, hey, I can't get these earrings in. You need to help me get them in.
It's just an awkward angle to try and do from the mirror. I thought if someone else was doing it, it might be a little bit easier.
And that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, okay. And I'm a little more timid. I'm a little more reserved in most aspects of life, but let alone something that's causing physical harm to someone else.
Well, neither of us knew going into it that it was going to hurt.
Yeah.
Because I thought they weren't healed
But
yet.
when it wouldn't go through, I was pushing and you were like, oh, ow, it's not going in. And God damn it.
That just dawned on me what that was.
Nasty boy.
Nasty
Yuck.
boy. Dirty boy.
But it wouldn't go through cleanly, and we didn't know why because it wasn't supposed to have healed off. And so you said, no, it has to go through, otherwise they're going to heal. So just push, and it's not going to hurt. Just do it.
I remember thinking like they've already started, so just man up, just bite the belt and push them through. Just do it.
Do it before it heals.
And you were saying like, I don't want to hurt you. I was like, it's gonna hurt. And I'm okay with this. I just need them back in. Do it now. And so it was this very slow crescendo, this rise of like you pressing and me going.
Yeah.
the pain getting like louder, and then all of a sudden it started like bleeding down your
so
fingers,
it's
and
fucking
so
bleeding all over my hand, and I'm like, oh my god,
I'm trying not to scream so mom and them don't hear me, but I'm just like still getting louder, and then all of a sudden as it starts bleeding, you start going so the both of us are just like this choir of screams.
I remember it finally just going and clicking through. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, I can't do the other one. And you were like, fuck me neither.
Yeah, it hurt a lot more than I thought. Anyway, that's why Steven doesn't have pierced ears anymore.
I just went to Claire's and did it professionally.
Claire's?
Claire
I'm
in the mall.
not confident that a teenage girl would be professional.
You have gauges, though, don't you?
No, I
They
wear
just look
fake
like
gauges.
gauges.
Yeah, because I like the way gauges look. But I told mom I
He's a
wouldn't.
fraud.
I told mom I
Exposed.
wouldn't do that, and so I promised her. So
Oh.
yeah, I just wear fake ones.
Russell loves his mama.
Aw,
My piercing, I got my daith pierced a couple weeks ago.
don't talk about your daith.
Yeah, but
Potty talk.
Fucking pervert.
you got to share your story.
I was making a joke that daith sounded sexual.
It's fucking called a daith. I don't know what you want me to do about that. I didn't name it.
I was hoping Russell would recall back to the boing noise.
Oh no, I was just boing. I was just listening
I know.
Politely.
politely.
You would let me finish my story?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to hear the story of how I got my daith pierced or not?
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it, but it helps with migraines, and he did it, and it fucking hurt. That's the whole story.
How are your migraines?
It helped a little.
Good.
It actually it did.
Good.
Now he's too interested in the story.
I don't want you to have headaches because I love you.
Oh, he's so sweet. So I have a,
loves his brother.
I have a couple housekeeping notes from last time. So first of all, very important. We got 2 names wrong last time, so we did verify. Russ, you go over the first name. We got wrong.
It is Billy Blanks. Blanks.
Yep, I went through and this is no joke. I did a couple rounds of Taibo because I wanted to relive that. I'm too old for Taibo now, I learned. But I also learned that it's Billy Blanks. Big old sign in the background, Blanks. Blanks. It was never Banks. It was always
yeah.
Blanks.
She blinks. She blinks. Oh, baby.
They were going to sponsor us, but we got the name wrong, so that sucks. The other name we got wrong was we called him Mr. Feely from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, the mailman. It's Mr. Mick Feely.
I remembered that too later after the fact, Mr. McFeely. And then we also kind of took a, not surprising at all, a weird sexual turn by going with Mr. Feely and Mr. Noodle. And
It
stuff like
wasn't
that.
surprising that you took that turn. Not surprising at all.
enough.
Everything with you is sex. Yeah, so sorry, Mr. McFeely. That's even worse than getting Billy Blanks wrong.
Speedy delivery.
So, anyways, those are the 2 people that aren't going to sponsor us because we got those names so wrong. As part of housekeeping notes, I wanted to bring up an idea that I have for a new segment. And it's a segment that involves Steven, because for those of you who might not know, Steven's a fantastic chef. He went to Italy once. And
Also, for those of you who might not know, let's just go ahead and talk about that. And if you don't mind, we'll jump back into it. This is another rare hat for Steven. Is I went to Italy. I went on this.
even the seagulls are fucking outside trying to talk over this shit. They don't give a fuck about Italy, man.
I was trying to keep that in so hard. Oh, that was perfect timing.
No, as part of a small study abroad school sponsored thing, we had the opportunity to go to Italy and do some cooking and stuff. And even though it was like a literal dream come true for me, these guys just couldn't wait to jump at the opportunity to turn it into some pretentious bullshit where you say, "Oh, you're a big time chef now. Well, where's your chef hat? Where's your coat? Did you leave it in Italy?"
This guy grills a hot dog, and we're like, "Did you learn how to do this in Italy?"
Fucking assholes.
So,
Just
anyways,
ruining this wonderful, amazing thing for me. And now it makes me feel like I can't even ever talk about it, bring it up. Like even casually, I can't be like, "Oh man, we had this really fun memory, really fun thing that happened in Italy."
you know,
I can't do it. I'm afraid
you know why we bring it up so
because
often.
you're
and-
assholes.
Well,
We're
aside
jealous.
from that, yep,
We're
it's jealousy.
jealous.
We wished we could have gone to Italy and gotten gotten all food poisoned from swordfish and wine. We wish we could have had that experience. These are all stories for another time. We're already 10 minutes down, and this is a 5-minute segment. But yeah, we're just jealous. But we love you, and we love that you went to Italy. And you are a fantastic chef. And I was watching a little show on the Food Network. I was watching a few shows, actually, but one in particular, Cutthroat Kitchen. And how many times have I said, I want to see you on Cutthroat Kitchen?
A lot of times, actually. I think there was, I don't know if it was for this show or another one, but at one point you texted me a link like, hey, look, I've already like halfway entered information for you to sign up for the show or something.
It was for like a family cooking show.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
You get your family together, and I just thought we would have an edge up because you're a professional chef.
Well, I did go to Italy.
Oh, shit.
Did you put on your...
Bougie Italy chef's hat here.
I know what to get you for Christmas.
Oh, no.
Italy.
Getting back to it, though. Sorry. Go ahead.
Getting back to it, I have said to you several times, you need to be on Cutthroat Kitchen. So it made me think, okay, we should have a goal with podcasts. Like everyone has a goal of something, a story they're telling. I think we should have one of our goals be to get you on Cutthroat Kitchen.
Oh, I hate that.
Why?
No.
Do you not want to be on Cutthroat Kitchen? If you don't, we'll change the whole point of the goal. But my personal, okay, you know what? Fuck what you want. I have a goal to get you on Cutthroat Kitchen, and we're gonna have a segment in which we train you to be on Cutthroat Kitchen.
You want to know what's funny, though?
What?
Is if I were ever on Cutthroat Kitchen, any of them, Cutthroat Kitchen, Guys Grocery Games, or Chopped, whatever, the second I got back from that, no matter what the outcome was, you guys would treat that like Italy. Oh, you're on Cutthroat Kitchen, dude.
This is one of the reasons I want you to be out there, because I need more. I'm running the hat in Italy. We've made fun of you too much. I need the next
lot to
the
put
next
into a
thing.
joke, though.
No, it's not a joke. I really think, because we joke about it all the time, but you are a fantastic chef, and you make the best things out of nothing. So we're going to start training you to be on chefs, different shows on the Food Network, because you are good enough to win. And I think it would help if we trained you. So here's what we're going to do to train you for Cutthroat Kitchen is Russell's going to give you, I think we should do this, if not every episode, every other episode or so, where I'm going to give you 2 or 3 ingredients, and Russell's going to give you some type of vessel to cook it in, or a utensil or something, and you have to tell me how you would take those ingredients and the whatever noun Russell gives you.
Skillet.
Okay, you get a skillet. So I guess we're gonna lob you some easy ones to begin.
Wonderful.
You want,
Oh, man,
do you
I-
want to stay with skillet,
I'm
or do
forced
you?
to cooking with a skillet? Shit.
No, the upside down part of cupcake tin. Do you get it? The bottom part.
Like a cupcake tin, but he has to flip it
Flip it
over.
up, yeah.
Okay, so you have an upside down cupcake tin. That's what you have to cook with.
Okay.
So we're going to give you this stuff, and then by the end of the episode, you have to tell us what you've made.
Right, so
You
what do
cook
we
in
have? We have the tin and what else so far?
But it has to be upside down.
Okay.
And then we'll give you 3 food ingredients.
Okay.
An egg, a radish.
And eggs, like not eggs, plural, but one.
Okay, well, in our hypothetical imaginary game, you can have as many eggs as you want, but no more than 50. 50 eggs.
Alton Brown would never let me. Alton Brown would never let me have as many eggs as I want.
Yeah, that's true. You get half a dozen,
Okay.
which in America is 6.
Sorry.
A radish.
Sorry to all of our European listeners out there.
Yeah, you get 6 eggs.
Okay.
A radish
What kind of radish?
is a fucking pink
A red
radish.
fucking.
Okay. Just making sure.
What are there different kinds of radishes? I don't have
Tons.
we don't have time to get into this, Chef Boy. This is why we
Well, let
make
me
fun
tell
of
you.
for
Let me
going-
list all the Asian radishes. And
How
all
many radishes were in Italy when you went to Italy?
That's why I do not support this segment already.
Six radishes, 6 eggs,
Okay.
and you need I think you need some kind of starchy fucking macaroni pasta. Okay?
Okay.
That's it. By the end of this episode, I want to know what you'll have done to have made, and what you will have made with those things.
Can I make a note without sounding like a pretentious chef boy?
Probably not, but give us the note.
I don't know how closely you've been watching Chopped, because the goal is not to like,
Cutthroat Kitchen.
or excuse me, thank you, Cutthroat Kitchen. The goal is not like, here's some bullshit, do something. It's there's usually an end goal. I need to make something specific. You need to make a croque monsieur with these ingredients. You need to make...
And that would work if I had the knowledge of
Have you never eaten
the writers.
before?
Okay, fucking make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with those 3 ingredients. See how that's not going to work?
Yes, I do.
I don't know what a croque monster is, so you've got it.
No, I can't do this.
No, you can do it. Because...
No, I mean, I literally can't make a fucking peanut butter and jelly sandwich out of an egg, mac noodles, and fucking radishes.
Exactly.
You can't be on Cutthroat Kitchen.
You lose.
But that's why I didn't want to give you something specific to make. You're telling me what you're making with these ingredients. So
You know what I could make with those 3 ingredients?
no, that's for the end of the episodes. And if you were gonna fucking say eggs, macaroni, and radish, then you're an idiot. Because listen, I wasn't done explaining the game.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Listen to my game. You can also use any spices you want.
Okay.
Spices are free.
Is anything else free as far as...
Condiments.
One ingredient of your choice. Anything. Literally anything. One extra ingredient. Because we'll have assumed that you went into our imaginary kitchen and our imaginary pantry and grabbed one thing of your choice. So
I can work with that.
we're not playing Cutthroat Kitchen here. We're training you
We're
for
about
it.
to.
We're sharpening that Italy mind up there. But we need to name our game. This is
This is a cut nope kitchen.
Nope Kitchen.
Prep boy, chef boy.
Prep boy, chef boy.
Bitch.
Prep boy, chef boy, bitch. Okay, I like it. I was gonna play off of Italy, but prep boy, chef boy is much better.
That was the bitch part.
I'm
was
writing
the
down
Italy.
prep boy, chef boy, bitch.
Okay, our new segment, prep boy, chef boy, bitch, in which we give Steven ingredients, cooking vessels, and he makes us a mystery meal. So stick around for the end of the episode to find out what Steven makes with his upside down cupcake tin, 6 eggs, 6 radishes, macaroni, pasta, and 1 ingredient of his choice.
I'll tell you what I make right now.
No, we gotta wait.
Fucking good garbage.
You know what we should do is actually give you those recipes, make you make something, and we'll put it on our social medias.
I would like to lead up to that. Actually, it'd be really fun. Do a live one.
Ross, that's a really good idea. I think we should absolutely do that.
Thanks.
Are you okay with this?
Yeah.
Okay. Prep boy, chef boy.
Bitch.
Bitch.
The last part's important.
It is. So stick around to find out what Steven makes with those completely asinine ingredients.
Did you plan those ingredients, or did you guys just barely...
Those were off the dome.
Nice.
I was on Instagram and saw somebody make
Don't give him ideas. This is his training. You also in our game of mental chef boy gymnastics, you have unlimited kitchen utensils at your disposal.
I hope so.
but they're all labeled with Guy Fieri.
Yeah,
That's another thing the listening audience doesn't know. Yet another rare hat for Steven. Guy Fieri.
we make fun of you a lot. It's because you're so make funnable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
So I already said it. Stick around to hear what Steven cooks up in this segment we call Prep Boy, Chef Boy.
Bitch.
Okay, last week, speaking of food, last week we talked, what are you doing? Are you Googling stuff?
No, fucking
Are you?
no.
Are you Googling stuff about your
I don't
Prep
need
Boy,
to
Chef
Google
Boy?
fucking eggs and radishes and macaroni and cheese.
Apparently you do, because there's 700 kinds of Italian radishes.
God, I can't. You know, I actually, one thing I did want to talk. Are we done talking about food, or were we about to move on to something else? Because
I was going to segue into our working in the food industry and the stuff we were going to talk about.
I have a good segue to both of them. The most maddening to this day, maddening thing that's ever happened in my life is the people that supported and inspired me most. Those who I love, my family, the ones that I wanted to be doing this shit for and cooking for and showing them what I can finally do and accomplish with my passion. The second I get any professionality into it, I get into the industry and I'm in school and I'm learning shit and I'm applying it, and it's really awesome for I'm putting these ideas in my head and making them into actual things for the first time in my life. Every last one of you bitches went on some kind of fucking diet, or all of a sudden,
It was keto for me.
keto for Jamie and Mom and Russell. I just like fucking chicken and lettuce now, and all you assholes, the second I can cook this shit and start telling you like, hey, like I'm making this week. This is my menu. Come eat. You're just like, it's not keto probably. Fuck you guys. Like seriously. It makes me so mad.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we all took diets
and like some you're still on,
restriction.
all of you are still on some kind of variation of that, some kind of restriction, and it just chaps my ass.
Well, here's I have no dietary restrictions for Prep Boy Chef Boy. So whatever you cook from
good.
that, I'll eat it. Don't you even worry. How did that segue into what we're doing though?
I guess it doesn't. I just really wanted to say it. I just wanted to publicly air it.
I got a segue for both of those. Fucking goes on a 10-minute rant. Doesn't segue. Okay, how does it segue? Doesn't. Fuck you. Okay. All right.
Anyway, I have many stories and instances in which I've made something delicious that you could not enjoy. What are some other food industry stories? How's that for a segue?
That's a good segue, Chef
Thanks,
Boy.
man. Bitch.
So we did mention that we wanted audience telling us their stories because our audience has best stories. That's been one of my favorite things about doing this podcast is hearing some great stories from audience. And that's the thing is we're not sticking to just food. The three of us worked in a deli and a pizza place together. And are there any other food places we worked? I don't think you worked at the pizza place. You were too young, Russ.
Yeah, no.
But anyways, that we're not just talking about food though. This is retail stories and customer service stories, and we all worked in a call center, and we have plenty of stories of that as well.
We've been doing that our whole life.
So we've talked a lot about food. So I'm actually going to lob this one to Russ. Why don't you go ahead and take it? Tell one of your stories, or one of the stories that one of your friends.
Well, I want to talk about Angry Zach. He's he's one of my good friends. We call him Angry Zach because he's fucking angry all the time. But he used to work at Noodles & Co. It's Co, right? Or is it company?
It says Noodles & Co. on the sign. I don't know if that stands for company or if you just get to say Co. I'm going to go ahead and say Co because that's what the sign... If you want people to say company, you spell that shit out.
Right?
Commit.
Yeah.
Commit.
But he used to work there, and he was the dishwasher at one point. And there's a little grease trap above all the dishes that you had to wash. And apparently when you're cooking a lot of noodles and stuff like that, there's a lot of grease that builds up. And I don't know why I didn't know this, but it was above his head. And he said that one night you're supposed to clean the grease trap every night. And it has these two little screws that you unscrew, and then you take the grease out and you pour it into a bag and you do whatever the hell you do with it. And one day somebody didn't put the screw on back correctly, and he went to go take it off, and he dropped it on himself, and he was just covered in grease for his whole 9-hour shift.
That's disgusting.
Head to toe, like a bucket of grease.
It on his head?
Yeah. So
where does the grease collect? Do they fucking cook on the ceiling at Noodles & Company?
I don't know how it works, but it was above his head, and you're supposed to get up on a ladder and remove it. But he's a taller guy, and so he was able to just reach up. But maybe that's what fucked him in the first place, is he tried to do it, and then he just dropped it, and it hit him here, and then all down from the left side of his head all the way down the right side of his body.
That's disgusting.
That's nasty.
I just didn't understand what is... Steven, you're our expert chef. What is collecting grease in a kitchen on the roof?
Very traditionally, it'll just be your hood vent, like above your grills and your flat top grills and stuff like that.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
It doesn't make sense to have it back in a dish pit. So I don't know if you just kind of confused the story or something.
No, that's just what he told me.
It's not like I've never
did-
seen a venting system that has that like go up to the vents and then
Transfer it over to
all
the dishes.
the way down to the dish pit. But yeah, I don't know, fucking maybe.
I don't know how that works.
In my mind, it was the grease from the dishes that had accumulated and was stuck in some kind of grease trap under the sink. And he like got down on like a little, what are the rolly things that go under the cars when you change an oil?
Rolly
A
things.
rolly thing.
Rolly. I was going to call it a gurney. Let's fucking do it. It's an oil changing gurney.
That's for a hospital.
I know, but no, there's only oil emergencies here. And that's why he had to have a gurney
Samurai Ron would know.
He would.
because he puts lots of fucking people on gurneys.
And he's a mechanic.
Yeah.
No, Samurai Ron is only a samurai.
Truth.
Don't ruin my image of Samurai Ron. I love him. But yeah, I had a picture of him like going down and like sliding under to change the oil in a car and reach up with his wrench but then all on his face. That's good. Zach, sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah, that sucks if it's
It made him angry.
was
was your whole story about Angry Zach just to pay off for the ending of just to say it made him angry?
That was the kicker. Oh man.
Zach spilled the grease.
Angry, greasy Zach. Okay, Angry Zach. Sorry about your grease problem. Thanks for telling us your story. So there's going to be a lot of pizza stories because we had
Steven went to Italy.
pizza's actually traditionally a Chinese dish.
From New York.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry to school you,
Did you
but
get my joke?
the student become the master. What?
I said from New York because that wasn't funny. Continue.
I don't get your joke.
Pizza was popular in New York.
It still is.
Before me.
Yeah,
Before
like
my
a slice like this big for $1.
The turtles love it.
That joke I got.
Yeah. Hey.
No, what I was going to say is we worked at $5 Pizza, which was a little small pizza chain that was started by a bunch of college students.
Mm-hmm.
The whole theme was you get pizza for $5, unlimited toppings, doesn't matter what you add, whatever your pizza is, it's going to be $5.
For all you starving student boys.
Yeah, it was just a way to have affordable pizza, and it was actually a brilliant business model because I don't think people realize how cheap pizza is to make. So good on them for doing it. I don't even know if $5 Pizza exists anymore.
I don't believe so. I think they went under.
No, there's one in Wolverine Crossing.
Is there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's still there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. When I was in
Keep the dream alive.
when I was working at $5, I started when I was like 17. I worked there in high school, and after I graduated high school, I worked there for a few years. So eventually, Steven worked there as well. Did you work American Fork?
No, I'm going to say you started at that location. You started at a different location, and then the opportunity came when you guys were opening a new location, and that's when you came to me and said, hey, would you be interested in working here with me?
Yeah. Because it was Saratoga Springs. It's where I live now. And that was like...
I said, well, I don't really have a lot of experience. I haven't been to Italy or anything, but I'll give it a shot.
Oh my God.
It hurts less if I say it first.
Yeah, that's fair.
There's only one in Orem and West Jordan now.
Oh, man. See, it's a dying breed. Everyone support your local $5 Pizza. But yeah, while we worked there, I worked with a ton of different people. I made a lot of friends there. But we have a listener. Her name's Chanel. She's awesome. Hello, Chanel.
Shout out to Chanel.
You remember Chanel?
I do remember Chanel.
Yeah,
Chanel was awesome.
We worked with her. She was she was a manager there. But she was sending me a bunch of stories. And this is what I'm going to talk about first, is because this seems to be a standard, regardless of what anywhere that serves food, makes food. This seems to happen. And she pointed this out. That she said I like how you can almost always find someone making out with another person in the walk-in, and it's so true. I don't know what the hell it is about a walk-in that makes teenagers want to just get together and mac face.
That's against health code.
It's very against
Tomatoes.
Actually, I don't think there's a specific rule. Oh, those tomatoes are so ripe. Come here, baby.
Oh,
Sure, there's no specific rule that I'm sure the FDA hasn't been like no macking in the walk-in, but like
It's not specifically against the rules. That's why. That's why the
not
kids
sanitary
do it.
though.
It's just so weird. Maybe what's the point of making out in a walk-in? Like that
colder.
was just so weird.
you gotta get closer to feel the heat.
That's true.
Could be one of those like wives' tales things, like making out's better with Pop Rocks and stuff like that.
That's not
Making
wives'
out's
tale.
better
I
with
would say that is.
That's true.
That is true.
Oh my God, Pop Rocks in the walk-in,
cold
make
Pop
out?
Rocks.
No, I meant the Pop Rocks go in your mouth, and then
Yeah,
you
but
go
you're
into the-
cold in the walk-in with the Pop. I get what you're going
Okay.
for.
I thought you were using the walk-in to refrigerate the Pop Rocks, and then we could eat them. No, that's a waste of a walk-in.
It would be
You can-
easy to keep them in there. You just meet up.
Plenty
You
of
don't
room.
have to go buy Pop Rocks first. You just keep them in the walk-in.
Okay, I like that. Yep. You go put the Pop Rocks in the walk-in, then you go schedule your Mac session.
Yeah. I never made out in there. I'd only smoke pot and vape.
So, yeah, I don't
You
know.
take that first part out.
Yeah. Let me delete that.
Actually,
Don't forget to write down what you learned this episode, guys. I'm doing that right now. Russell, you said you never made out with anyone in the walk-in.
I don't think so.
Well, I know I did. Steven, have you ever macked on anyone in the walk-in?
yes.
Yeah, see, it's a thing. When she said that, I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, that's true. And I've walked in on multiple different people doing it, not just one particular, lots of different people. I wanted to discuss what was appealing about a walk-in that made you want to mac someone.
No cameras.
Oh, that's a good point. There are usually no cameras in
Privacy.
the walk-in. Yep, it's cooled down when you're heating up. It's where you keep your Pop Rocks.
I wasn't especially thrilled that it was in the walk-in myself. I was just thrilled that a girl was talking to me, let alone kissing me. So,
So it doesn't matter if it would have been anywhere, you would have done it.
the walk-ins become a very different place for me.
What do you mean?
I mean, more commonly in the industry, make it down the walk-in makes it seem like everything is from the movie Waiting. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole restaurant industry. But it's not.
Movie.
It's a great movie. Not accurate for every place.
Yeah, you don't have Andy Milonakis in there doing whippets.
Well, not in my store.
It's not. It's someone else doing the whippets. It's not Andy.
Right.
That makes sense.
No, it's usually just people's place of like venting frustration. You know, girls will go in there to cry. Guys will go in there to scream and punch meat and stuff like that. If you're just
They go in there to beat their meat. Is that what you just said?
That's what I heard. Did you guys learn that in Italy?
I was just gonna say you don't have to go all the way to Italy to learn that.
People are gonna hate talking about Italy just as much as we do.
Yeah,
By the end of this episode,
I was already thinking to myself like,
Good.
okay, how many fucking Italy references am I gonna have to cut out? That's okay.
right now for me at least, it's commonly a place for venting frustrations, not sexual frustrations.
and not beating your meat. That is specifically against health code. We have someone whose audience, he's persistent audience, and he's always wanting to share stories and tell stories. He's asked that the audience knows him. Yeah, he's asked that the audience know him as Crazy Uncle Gary. So Crazy Uncle Gary, he told me a few different stories from when he was working in the food industry, and back when he was a dishwasher at a restaurant. And I don't know. I don't find this weird, and I would do it myself, where if you've got whole food that's coming back on the tray and it's untouched, as he was going through and taking a dish, he would just grab a bite, and his friends and coworkers would be like, "What the hell? You're eating right off of that tray?" Just like, well, yeah, it was like a whole sandwich, dude. Like, I
don't know that it's weird, and it's don't waste food, all that jazz. Be a member of the Clean Plates Club. That's great, but like it's what it is nasty.
Is it nasty though?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Example at Gandolfo's, after you'd like make a sandwich or something and it'd be on that little parchment paper. After I put the sandwich, give it to him, and there's a little cheese left on the parchment paper, you bet your ass I'm taking that off and putting that in my mouth.
All right. At that point, it hasn't gone out to the customer yet, though.
Yeah,
That makes a little more sense.
but that's worse in my opinion.
What?
Yeah, that's like someone's loading up I go to Wendy's, I get my regular combo meal, they're putting the fries in the bag, and as they're doing it, they pop a couple fries in. That's a similar concept to me.
Well, see, the sandwich, I'd get it out to them first, and then they'd
Oh,
leave.
okay. So the sandwich is gone.
Yeah.
You just have the parchment paper that has the extra cooked cheese on it.
Yeah, and then
Like-
you rip that off.
At the
Yeah,
point,
that's
okay.
fine.
Okay.
That's fine because that was in the process of cooking. This customer's already received their food. The only step left in making this sandwich is throwing away the old used paper that was used to make that last sandwich.
So it's eating trash.
yeah.
How's that any worse about eating something that comes off the dish line?
He's eating sanitary trash.
What makes it more sanitary? Why is it not
Okay,
sanitary?
maybe someone brings back, they ate everything on their tray except their dessert. It's completely untouched.
Yeah.
There's a billion reasons why it could have been untouched. Maybe they were eating and they saw a fly land on it and they were like, ew, I don't want to eat that. Maybe they fucking sneezed all over it. Maybe they're sick as shit and they just
You know what I love about hypothetical stories is maybe this. Maybe it's a perfectly fucking good cheesecake and nothing happened to it.
Absolutely. On the same hand, it could be, maybe this is now rabbit infested because they sneezed on it or something or bled on it. Who fucking knows? Or
I wouldn't.
Maybe none of that shit happened and it's a waste of a perfectly damn good cheesecake. But I'm not willing to take that chance. I do not want E. coli.
Let me be clear. If I ever saw blood on the cheesecake, I wouldn't eat it.
Unless there was blood that mixed into your strawberry sauce. Your
That's what I
raspberry
was thinking.
sauce
It's like
on
a
top.
strawberry
You don't
sauce.
know.
Yeah, but I wouldn't continue eating it if it tasted a little bloody. That's gross.
Just a bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's a little bloody.
Just a taste.
Yeah. I mean, I have a hard time throwing away food. And like, I keep everything's a leftover to me. I won't throw it away. I'll be sick to my stomach because I'm so full. But if we have to throw something away, I'll just eat it and keep getting more and more sick.
I had a bad habit of that in my life. I still kind of do in some ways, but that's what's made me a husky boy.
I'm like the complete opposite nowadays. If something's if it's like a week before it expires, I throw it away.
Must be nice to have so much money. I can just throw things away. So, I mean, no eating food off of trays then?
Whatever boats your float.
I've done it,
Go for
and
it.
I'd probably do it again.
You've done it?
Well, yeah.
Have you ever done it, Steven? Have you ever eaten something that's coming back in, that's gone out from the kitchen, that's now coming back into the kitchen?
Not that I can recall. There have been times where like I've gone to hand the plate to the customer and they've said, "Oh, I was hoping it would have this on it," or "I can't eat this. I didn't realize it didn't realize that it had nuts in there. I'm allergic," or something like that. I'm like, "Oh, no problem. We'll fix you something else." I go to take that back to the dish pit, and before I even round the corner, it's halfway in my face. Yes, I've done that before.
Okay, well, maybe off. Okay, I can see how sending something out to a customer sitting at a table and then coming back, that's a risky move to gnaw on that. I'll eat anything.
No.
A fly lands on it, whatever. I don't care. I drop a cream bagel face down, whatever. It's a little crunchy, but I still eat it. Like, I'm weird like that.
You nasty is what you are.
I'm not. There's
like walk up to the customer and just like lick their hands and face. Might as well, because the second it leaves my hands, like it's between them and God. Whatever happens to that dish, and I don't want to know what's happened.
I would argue that even having food prepped, a lot of shit is like even worse. Like there's bugs and shit in it, and we never know about it because we're not there in the place that's processing and prepping the food.
Wash your produce.
Wash your produce. This tip brought to you by Chef Boy, Prep Boy, bitch. Okay, so sorry, I was gonna say taking food to a customer and then bringing it back. I can see how that's unsanitary, but what about eating trash?
I was just going to talk about that.
What the fuck? Just so casually, like we don't want to eat like kind of touched food, but what about eating straight up garbage?
What if we just fucking eat
What?
trash?
Okay, so
No, I
You
think
just thought, what the hell? I'll just eat some
just eat
trash.
some trash.
that's exactly what I was going to say. George
George
Costanza did it because it's sitting on the doily above the rim. Like, where's your limit to where it is now become trash and I won't eat?
I will 100% if my wife's dad cooks us like meat, and for some reason they only eat half of what he cooks and they throw it away. I eat the whole thing and then some. If I open the trash can to throw my plate away and I see there's a little piece of meat sitting on top, untouched by anything else, I will take it and I will eat that. His food is good.
I would too.
His food is good.
I've eaten trash. I've eaten food out of the trash, but
I can't say that I haven't.
there it is. Nope, that's it. You're done talking.
There was a time in my life where I probably have done that before. I can't think of anything specific, but I'm sure at home growing up, maybe a few times, I don't know. But like nowadays, knowing what I know now, just never, absolutely not.
So, okay.
It's not like it's not like there's any like hidden secrets that you have to be a chef or go to fucking Italy to know. But like, it's just, it's garbage. Like it should be common knowledge. And like, if I ever did it before, I feel gross now.
Kids in Africa would kill for our garbage.
Then why the fuck are they sending it back to the dish pit and hoping I don't eat it?
Send it to Africa.
Yeah, exactly.
We one time I was out to eat with my friends. We were sloughing school. We went to IHOP and we had leftovers, but we didn't want to take them because we had to go back to school and we couldn't just like keep them in our car all day because it was summertime. It wouldn't work. So we had this extra food and the server asked, "Would you like me to box that up for you?" We said, "Oh no, because we can't take it back to school, but I feel bad wasting food. Like there's starving kids in Africa. Is there any way that you could like bundle it up and send it to Africa?" And she thought we were dead serious. She was like, "No, I can't do that."
Sorry, I can't. That's awesome.
No, there's not just starving kids in Africa. They're everywhere. Okay.
Everywhere.
I always just say Africa, but there's literally thousands of kids. Just thousands.
Literally
though.
just
thousands.
just thousands. No more than that. 1,002. That's max.
It's a lot of food waste and like that, and you see in the industry too, and it's really sad. But a lot of places are forward thinking now, and they're have been taking what would normally be thrown away or go out to food, garbage is waste, what have you, after like buffet style serving, anything like that, even cafeteria style. A lot of places I'm seeing more and more online. People are taking that and giving it to the homeless, and I love that. I think it's
brilliant.
It is. It's It's awesome.
Instead of eating trash, donate your trash to the homeless. That's your recommendation from Prep Boy Chef Boy.
Prep Boy Chef Boyardee.
Bitch, I remember one time in particular, I got you the job at the $5 Pizza out here in Saratoga Springs, and we were short-staffed, and it was an emergency. We needed someone to come in and cover, and you said you would do it. It was like, awesome. So we were counting on you to show up, and you weren't there. It was like one of the first times I had ever really had to experience ultimate shortage of a shift and deal with something in like a managerial capacity.
I thought you were going to say first time you were like felt let down by your brother. And I was like, that can't be the first time.
Yeah, no, it was far from the first time. Working through our shit, and you were supposed to be there, and it really just threw shit through a loop. Freaking out, trying to find you. And then when you finally did come into work, you were just, I don't know, you were like phased out and so weird. Just like, what the hell? What is your deal? Like, where the hell were you? And you're like, I went for a walk. You went for a walk? What are you talking about? You went for a walk? Because
that was the truth.
We lived in Linden.
Yes.
And this is out in Saratoga Springs. I mean, that's what, 30 minutes away at least. Mm-hmm. So you're like,
well, I didn't have a car or anything. I had to get rides to work.
Yeah. And so I was trying to figure out where the hell in Saratoga Springs you were going for a walk. And you're like, oh no, I was walking on the canal. You went for a walk on the canal. Did you walk to work?
Right by our house, yeah.
And when I asked if you walked to work, I just remember you saying, oh no, but I should have. It's like, what the hell are you talking about?
I forgot I said that.
I was just so weirded out that you had like showed up so late to the shift, and you were talking about you should have walked to work, but you went for a walk, and that's why you were so late. But I was so pissed, but I didn't have a way to get a hold of you back then. So I went out and I bought you a cell phone. And do you remember that? Was that your first cell phone?
It was. Mom did not want me to have a cell phone.
Mom was pissed.
She had offered it before as like a reward.
Yeah.
But this is when I was like, you didn't have my door, and I was grounded, and all this other shit was stacking up against all the cards were against me. And she was like, I know you really want a cell phone. I don't want you to have one. Being the, loving, protecting, sane mother that she is, she was like, I don't want you to have a cell phone right now. Maybe you can earn it if you start doing better with your grades, start doing everything that you're supposed to, and all that jazz.
Yeah, well, what Mom didn't realize was that the driver manager of $5 Pizza can overrule that because I needed to be able to get a hold of you for work.
Well, to my knowledge, it was like you both came to the consensus that after that.
Nope,
day,
absolutely not. I went out and I bought you a cell phone and I gave it to you. I didn't even consider whether Mom didn't. I just, in my mind, I needed a way to get a hold of you, and it was for work. So sorry, it was for work. That's how I justified it. Yeah. Sorry, Mom. But years later, I heard the real story of why you were so late to work, and to make a long story short, you dropped acid and went for a walk.
I didn't. I've never done acid. I did not drop acid.
So basically, I rewarded Steven for dropping acid by buying him a cell phone.
See, kids?
Trippy.
Okay, so you didn't really drop acid. That's how I remember it, but I don't. You don't have to say if you don't want to, but
speed.
Okay, I
found out after the fact of taking it what it was. I didn't know what it was when I initially took it.
You took a thing and you didn't know what the thing was. Mm-hmm. So you took speed and went for a walk. And then it made you so late to work that I bought you a cell phone.
Yes.
Just the weirdest fucking story.
If we want to, I can get into the story, but you know how I can talk. I'll keep it. I'll try to keep it short. Basically, my friend walked up to me, and he was a friend that I partook a lot of things like that in with, you know what I mean? And he was like, you got to try this, man. And
is he the friend who currently lives in a tent in Liberty Park?
No.
Okay.
I mean, like, it is the same person, but things are coming up roses for him.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
Right, basically, he walked up to me, he was like, you got to try this, man. He hands me a stick of gum from an extra package. And I was like, I've tried gum. What are you talking about? He was like, no. And he's explaining it to me. He's heavily hinting because he didn't want to say it out in the open, but he was like, you want to try this gum. Don't stop chewing it. Don't spit it out. I was, and I started chewing it, and all through my last period of class, nothing happened. I came home after class, I was like, this work for you? He was like, no, but they said to keep chewing it. And I was like, okay, whatever. And we got all the way home. Nothing was happening. And so we got to the point where, I walked back to my house. He walked back to his. And I never spit it out. I kept chewing it. And I was upstairs. I was pacing the long hallway upstairs back and forth. And I remember just talking, being pissed off. I was like, I hope we didn't pay money for this. what a waste of time. What did I like? And as I was sitting there thinking, I realized my thoughts were getting faster and faster and faster, and I was pacing faster and faster up and down the hallway back and forth, and I didn't realize what I was doing at first. So I gave him a call, and I was like, "Hey, did anything change for you? Anything happen for you? I can't stop thinking. I can't stop moving." And he was like, "Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta walk. We should go for a walk. Let's go for a walk." So. So he's like, "We want to go for a walk? Yeah, let's go for a walk." He walks down to the corner where we met again, and he says, "Where should we go? Let's just walk somewhere." Like, what about the Canal Road? We got the Canal Road right here. It's a big, long stretch of road. It's unwalked. We should walk the road. Walk the Canal Road. So we decided to walk the Canal Road, and we picked a direction that was less traveled for us. So like, let's go this way because I know less about this. It'd be fun. And I remember a few times like being like, "Oh, I gotta be to work, so we gotta be back soon. I gotta be to work." He's like, "Oh yeah, we can do it. Just go for a quick walk. It's fine." It's like, "All right, yeah." So I did. Walked in that direction. And this is why I think that's why I said to you later, like, "Oh, I should have walked to work," because we ended up walking for hours aimlessly in a direction like long past the point where things became unfamiliar to us anymore. We just kept going. And I am convinced that if we would have started in the other opposite direction, I at least would have been a hell of a lot closer to work by the time my shift started. And yeah, that's the gist of it. So by the time you saw me, I wasn't zizzed or anything. I was coming down, but I was still a little fried and just kind of like, "Oh yeah, I should have walked to work because I walked the other way." Found out the next day it was some kind of speed. Haven't had it before or since.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, and you got a cell phone.
Yeah, you want a cell phone, kids? Do some speed.
Do you know what really pisses me off about what you just said? I wrote that down for the fucking end of what I learned for this.
I'm glad that that's what pissed you off and not like the advocating of drugs to children.
We had our whole new ending this show segment, and you stole my best line. I have to cross it out. Fuck.
It's only fair. Russell stole my line last episode.
Our audience manager, our $5. I was trying to think of something clever to call her.
$5 audience.
$5 audience. She told a really crazy story that I hadn't heard before from the $5 in Saratoga. This is when she had just become the manager. So she was brand new manager. She was making the schedule, and she was organizing the drivers because that has to be right after I left then because I was the driver manager. So she was sending someone out to Cedar Fort, which from Saratoga Springs, that can take up to 45 minutes.
Yes.
One direction sometimes, depending on traffic. Like it's way out there. So if you were a driver that didn't want to do any work, you would always say, "Yep, give me the Cedar Fort delivery." Sometimes we wouldn't deliver out there because it was just so far away. Mm-hmm. But anyway, she had sent someone out there to an order all the way to Cedar Fort. 2 hours later, she hadn't heard from the guy. Still hadn't seen him. Couldn't get a hold of him. She was calling him. She had no idea where he was. So someone calls into the store and asks to speak with a manager, which is now her. So she talks to this guy, and he just started yelling at her. And it was the guy who was waiting on his Cedar Fort order and just was demanding to know where the hell his pizza was. And he started threatening her and started threatening the driver. Yeah, and just started like going off on her. So she says here that he ended the conversation by saying if he actually shows up, he's going to shoot him. And then he would come up and shoot the rest of us.
I remember that.
Were you working there at the time?
I might have been. I at least remember the story. It may have been told to me later, but I don't remember if I was working. I just, that sounds really familiar. It rings a bell.
Yeah. So she says here, instead of calling the police, I called the owner's wife, who then told me to hang up immediately and call the police. Because they still had no idea where the driver was. And about an hour later, after that, they had received that threatening phone call, the driver shows back up to the store, higher than a freaking kite. Are you sure you weren't the driver, Steven? So he shows up at the store, higher than a kite, and he still had the order in the car. I like to think that he kept it around to munch on it. But she was just really glad that he was alive.
For sure.
The cops stayed there the rest of the night while they closed up, and no one got shot. That's how it ends.
That's a good story.
Yeah. It's always a good story in America when it ends with no one got shot. But thought that was a crazy story. But then she also told another one here that makes me laugh. She was also working at the $5 Pizza down in Cedar City while she was going to school down there. The owner of the store lived in St. George. One night at 2 a.m., I got a phone call asking me from the owner, asking me to look out my window. And there were flames engulfing the store. So he had me go there until it burnt all the way down. That was a crazy night, too.
What the hell?
Right? So these crazy stories. Well, I was kind of going to wrap up by telling my driver stories because I was the driver manager for $5, as I mentioned. And what was more interesting than anything that really happened on any of my deliveries was the car that I drove. I don't know if you people listening know what a Suzuki X90 was, but go ahead and hit pause. Google that right now. Suzuki X90. It basically looks like an oversized roller skate. It was like a T-top. Each little section comes off. So it had this weird shape to it. I mean, it almost looked like something from the fucking Jetsons. Like, it really did.
The weird shape to it looks like something out of a like fucking Toy Story or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it looks animated.
It really did. And it was just the strangest car.
The joke that Dad would always make is anytime you would pull up somewhere, you'd expect 20 clowns to get out of it.
But yeah, it was bright red. And it's just this oversized. Everyone in high school, they nicknamed it the tomato. I don't know why. Probably just because it was a red, round looking. It looked like a tomato.
It did.
And so I cruised around. This thing, you had to be going downhill with the wind in your direction to hit 47 miles per hour. Like, it was great for Utah because it was a short, small little car. It was a lot like a smart car, but not at all intelligent.
No smarts went into this.
None smarts. But it was tiny and 4-wheel drive, so it was actually really nice in the snow. Because it handled really well because it was just a tiny car that was all 4-wheel drive. It just didn't go very fast. Since it only fit me and you, we named it the Miyu.
Only two seats.
So,
My favorite name for a car.
yeah, I thought it was
Suzuki
a great
Miyu.
name. So always in our house we called it the Miyu. Yeah, what car are you going to? I'm going to take the Miyu. In fact, when we got the car, we were so used to calling it a Miyu because it had been Grandpa's. No. Yeah, it had been Grandpa's before it went to me. And they ended up giving it to me for Christmas one year, which is freaking awesome. Like, I'm not trying to knock this car at all because who gets a car for Christmas? Like, that was so cool. I'm Mom's favorite. And but we called it a Miyu so often that when Mom called in to get it insured, they asked her what the make and model of the vehicle was. And she said, it's a Suzuki Miyu. They're like, how do you spell Miyu? Well, I think it's MeyoU. And they were like, I don't see a Suzuki Miyu. And she realized, oh, wait, that's the nickname. Hold on, I've got. So that's how engraved in our brains that it was a Miyu. But yeah, man, I cruised around and delivered pizzas, me and the Miyu. Do you have any other stories before I keep going on this? Because this is going to be like the end.
I just remember when I used to go to football practice, she would take me. And I had the Titanic, that's what they call them, Titanic pads, because they were oversized and big. And every time we'd pull up in the Miyu, the whole team would look over and just laugh at my ass because it's this tiny-ass car and I get out on these big-ass fucking pads. It was just funny. Everyone used to make fun of me.
Like Bob in his car from The Incredibles.
Yeah. Oh.
And it had to have insurance because it had the lowest safety rating of any vehicle on the market. That is not a joke.
No, you're driving around in a pop can. That thing, it's aluminum.
It was so scary driving in that. But I loved it, man. And it was totally me. And pop that top, pop the T-top, cruise around, deliver my pizzas. And I purchased for myself satellite radio.
It wasn't even like retractable top. Like you literally had to pull over, get the car out, and pop the pieces off and put them in the trunk
you had
to take your top off.
You had to undo the latch on either side. You take them and you can put them in the trunk only if you had nothing else in the trunk. The only thing that fit in there, the spare tires with the T-tops. That was about it. It was no wonder that I was single for most of my Miyu career. No, I got satellite radio because I drove around so much, like clear out to frickin' Cedar Fort to deliver pizzas. No one ever shot me, but I needed satellite radio so that I had something to listen to while I was out. and I listened to the Comedians channel. So just it was comedian segments 24/7. One particular day while we were on break after delivering pizzas, my best friend Jesse, he and I hopped in the Miu, went to Taco Bell to grab some lunch while we were out on break. I noticed as I'm driving down the road, there's a cop behind me, and he's doing that cop thing where you're like about to get pulled over because he's staying close enough that he's trying to like look at my license plate, but far away enough that like,
not to arouse suspicion.
Yeah, and so I wasn't sure what the hell this guy was doing, but he followed me for like 6 blocks. I'm like, this is so weird. Like, but whatever, just keep going to Taco Bell, and we turn into Taco Bell, pull in the drive-thru, and so does he. So it's like, oh, okay. Obviously, he's just stopping to get food. That makes sense. So we order our food, go through the drive-thru, pay, thank you very much. As I'm pulling out, the fucking cop squeals through and just totally flips on his lights and siren in the goddamn parking lot. I was like, what the hell? So I pull over. The cop gets out of his car, and he's just, hey. And I'm looking back there like, what? I'm just parked, and I'm sitting there with my hands on the wheel. Like, I'm not doing anything weird. He has his hand on his holster.
What the fuck?
And he starts walking up to the car, and he starts smacking the side of the car. I was like, are we on fire? And Jesse's like, I have no idea what's going on.
You gonna shoot the fire?
Yeah. Like, the best way to put out a fire.
Get down!
It's burning. But yeah, no, he's slapping the side of the car. I have no clue. His hands on his holster. He's slowly coming up. And as he comes up to the window, I just kind of look up at him. It's like,
Hello, sir.
sorry, is there an issue? He's like, do you have any weapons? I was like, what? No. Do you have anything I should know about, like knives? No. And it's Jesse and I sitting in the least intimidating car you've ever seen in your life, wearing a $5 pizza polo shirt.
Eating fucking Taco Bell.
Yeah, it just came through the Taco Bell drive-thru. And the best part of the story, though, is the whole reason I mentioned satellite radio is while this cop's freaking out, I'm too preoccupied with what he's doing to pay attention to my radio. Chris Rock is playing in the background. You're fucking shitting. And so while the cop is slowly like asking me about knives, Jesse just slowly reaches over and turns down the cursing Chris Rock comedian that's going off in the background. But anyways, I don't know what the cop's problem was because I wasn't speeding. I wasn't doing it. We were on the clock. I had a $5 pizza sign on my Miu car. Like, it was the strangest thing. He just let me go because I fucking wasn't doing anything, and I don't know what his deal was. It was so weird.
But where were the weapons?
Yeah, where were the knives? in many of the multiple compartments that would definitely fit in this car. Like, this car had no room for nothing. I don't know why he thought I had weapons and shit. It was so weird. It was so weird.
I've never heard that story. That's so odd. There's no room for anything, let alone not even a knife.
Right.
Ass to shoulder in that car.
Made no sense to me. Yeah, that was pretty much my $5 era. The other stories I had in retail, I'm kind of hogging all the stories here, guys, and I feel bad, but I have one final retail story. This is it. This is our last story, unless you guys have anything else.
Off the top of my head, no.
Retail sucks. I'm tired of it.
Fuck retail.
Retail does suck, and there was a while where I worked for T-Mobile, but I didn't work directly for T-Mobile. I worked for a T-Mobile
Kiosk.
It was a kiosk in the mall, but it was an authorized dealer for T-Mobile, which I know makes it sound like drugs. Like, we got your minutes. You need minutes.
Oh, that's
We
what the
got
cop
your
was
minutes.
That's what the cop was looking for in the Miu.
Yeah, he was looking for those minutes.
Extra
Where's
minutes.
where's the minutes.
I meant the drugs, but
Yeah, but you'd already taken those and went for a walk.
Oh.
I don't even think they do it this way anymore because it was so confusing. People would be like coming in and asking for stuff about their bill. Like, oh, we don't do billing. We're just an authorized retailer. All we could do was sell people phones and sign them up through T-Mobile with plans. We didn't work for T-Mobile itself. And it just pissed people off all the time. And I hated doing it. And I was terrible at sales. All the time, people would tell me what they need in a phone or tell me what they need in a plan. And I'd be like, yeah, Verizon has us beat. Like, go over to the Verizon stall, like 2 stalls down. And people working with me, the salesman was working like, what the hell are you telling him to go somewhere else for? Like, you just sent away our commission. And I was like, yeah, but they needed this. Like, I'm a terrible salesman. I suck at it. I'm just too honest and I don't give a shit. Like, well, fucking sorry. Verizon is better for what they needed. I'm not gonna hold them hostage here at the T-Mobile authorized dealer. So I didn't enjoy the job for that reason. And it was always super shitty. And the management was way uncool. And they were all just like trying to make the CEO ended up going to prison for embezzling money. Like it was a fucking shitty place to work.
Wow. Damn.
And yeah, like it was awful. But one day I was having a particularly crappy day. I went and pulled out my phone and sent Steven a text. Just like, dude, today is so. The text said, today is so shitty. My manager's being an ass, and I just want a fucking Slurpee. And that was back in the time when I never said the F word, like, except on rare occasions. But I wanted Steven to know how bad I needed a Slurpee. I was kind of trying to guilt him into bringing the Slurpee a little bit.
Hell yeah.
So I hit send on the message and immediately realized that I sent it to Brad, my manager, and not to Steven. So I get an immediate response that's like, dude, I'm so sorry. We all have those days. I'm not trying to be an ass. Do you want me to bring you a Slurpee? Oh my God, Brad, I'm sorry. That was supposed to be for my brother. I'm so sorry.
But yes.
Please.
but I would love a pina colada Coke Slurpee if you would, please.
Did you get the Slurpee?
Yeah, did you?
After work,
Did I
yeah.
give you a Slurpee?
Probably not. You were probably out taking a walk,
Doing your meth.
dropping acid, and hijacking a school bus full of penguins.
Junkie.
It's better off dead reference. Anyways, so yeah, just that unintended text was a huge, like, memorable moment from my being a salesman at T-Mobile. Just my manager Brad was being an asshole, and I just need a fucking Slurpee.
That's
So I
awesome.
thought that could be a fun topic for next episode.
Brad?
Brad, yeah. Do you have a manager named Brad? Is he an asshole? Do you like Slurpees?
Do you love Slurpee?
No, unintended messages, because I have a couple of those. I don't have many.
I mean,
Do you have one off the top of your head, Russell? An unintended message?
no.
Okay, that's a no. Steven, do you have one off the top of your head that you've sent before? I have multiple.
Off the top of your head? Like, I'm sure I could recall one off the top of my head. No.
I have two, and I just told one. So one story down.
I think that's a good topic. We can probably get. Okay.
If we had more interaction from audience, I think it would be a good topic, but we might not have enough.
Come on, audience. Pull your fucking weight.
Give us some content. But yeah, I think we could talk about that next time. And why don't we tie in, because there was a story that Russell brought up in the last episode of, I don't want to give it away, but it involved playing wiffle ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go with unintended texts and maybe like childhood injuries. So if you're an audience and you have any of those stories that are pretty funny, feel free to share them with us because we like hearing them, even if we don't share them. Because I had way more stories than just that, but the ones I told today were probably the best out of all of those.
Not to say the other people sucked, but they weren't good enough.
They did suck. I want each one of you right now to think about what you learned from this episode. And then before we get to that though, let's talk to Prep Boy Chef Boy. Bitch. All right, with those ingredients that we discussed at the beginning.
You got 6 eggs, 6 radishes, and macaroni.
Macaroni pasta.
Oh, and a tin. An upside down cupcake tin.
What'd you make?
What I've made for you is a very unconventionally shaped omelet. Stuffed with radishes and macaroni.
You made me a radish macaroni omelet shaped like an upside down cupcake?
Yes. No, okay. Real talk. Let's do this.
No, that was it. You have one chance. You get one.
I'm Chef Boy, Prep Boy, bitch.
You get one chance on Cutthroat Kitchen.
So what I was thinking, with my one additional ingredient,
Yes.
I would have grabbed cheese.
What kind of cheese?
Preferably like something. I need something that's going to hold up and crisp, like a cheddar, but I want more of a Gruyere flavor profile. Excuse me. So
Wait, hold up. I'm just checking in the imaginary fridge. Yeah, we have Gruyere full flavor style cheese
Wonderful.
in the fridge.
It's Guy Fieri product, though.
No,
It's got Guy Fieri's face on the packaging.
that's fine. That's fine. I want that flavor, but I want the
Flavor
dexterity.
town.
Oh my god!
Sorry, I'll stop interrupting you with Guy Fieri.
That is gangster.
That's gangster. he bothers me so much. I hate his mannerisms. I hate everything about him, but he does so many good things. He's such like a charitable.
You don't have to justify him. You can hate him if you want.
I hate him, but I don't want to. But I love to hate him too. It's just it's a weird relationship. I'm working on it.
All right, we derailed too hard. What would you make us with those ingredients for reals?
So I would take the cheese.
Okay.
Essentially, I'd take the upside down dish. I would melt the cheese on that. I would make it crispy. I would do a cup-shaped cheese coin. Yes?
Okay.
I would make it a macaroni cheese with a little bit more of that cheese. Not a lot, because the cup's made of it. It's going to have a different toasted flavor to it being crisp like that. But radishes, macaroni, seasonings.
How would you prepare the radishes? So they're sliced?
They are finely diced.
Okay. See how it makes a difference, though? Be the pretentious chef that we need for this segment. So we have diced radishes, macaroni.
Finely diced radishes, macaroni. I'm going to gussy it up, flavor it up a little bit, and I'm going to put the radishes on top. And then I had not decided if I wanted to just incorporate the eggs in like the macaroni dish, so it's like a baked macaroni, or if I want to put like a poached egg on top of this.
You're Prep Boy Chef Boy.
One or two. Those are the one or two things I would do.
You got to pick one.
Why?
Because we're going to fucking make it.
All right, and it's going to have to be incorporated into the mac. It'll be like an egg white creamy macaroni and cheese stuffed in this little shell. With radishes.
Topped with diced radishes?
Yeah.
That's the dice sound.
Diced.
That's professional. He's in the kitchen every day.
Yeah.
People are like, Steve,
That's
shut the fuck up. Just cut your goddamn radishes.
Honest to God, like that is how we describe a lot of the tools and stuff in the kitchen when we're talking to each other.
Hey, hand me the...
Yeah, honest to God, like we'll forget like what we're looking for is the mandolin to cut the cucumbers, and so I have a coworker all the time. She'll do stuff like that. She'll be like, "Can you go in the back, give me the," and I'm like, "No." There's all these different noises.
That's fantastic. All right, well now the most important part. I Prep Boy Chef Boy, I think that sounds really good.
It's delicious.
Bitch, what would you call it?
I don't know. What would you call it?
I would probably call it Radish Coin Bowl.
Russell, what would you call it?
I'm sticking with that. That's good.
Well, like that doesn't have any final answer.
I'm gonna mash up radish and macaroni. Then it's gonna be Rataroni Coin Bowl.
Rataroni Coin Bowl is it.
Oh, I really hope we make
Steven
this.
just dabbed. I don't know why you keep saying I really hope. We are going to do this.
I really hope so.
And so like
I've never paired radishes and eggs and macaroni together.
we fucking should have thought of that before you made a Rataroni Coin Bowl.
You
idiot.
dipshits made this. You gave
No.
me ingredients and told me to like fucking work with it.
Yes, that is correct.
So you can't be mad at me if the ingredients you picked don't taste good together.
But you have
cutthroat.
You have the chef experience.
Just because I have chef experience, that doesn't mean you can be like, here, take
I understand that
dog
if you
shit
put
and
dog
golf
shit on
balls
it,
and yeah,
right.
you know what I
Dog
mean?
shit and golf balls? That sounds like the worst meatball sub I've ever had in my life.
Yeah, you can't look at me and be like, here is some uncooked spaghetti noodle and a bottle of mustard. Make meatloaf. Like, it doesn't work like that.
I didn't tell you make meatloaf.
I know.
I told you to make the
You know what I'm saying?
you make the best tasting thing you can out of these ingredients.
I can make it taste better than it rightfully should, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the best goddamn macaroni cup you ever had in your life.
It's going to be the only one, so it will be the best.
Yeah, exactly. There's no. I'm sorry. How much Rataroni Coin Bowls have you had in your life?
Fair enough.
Bingo. I feel like this was a very successful episode. And one thing that I want to start doing, because as from these stories that we all tell each other,
Nobody gives a shit.
nobody cares. The stories and opinions you don't care about, we can all learn from them. I learned from a lot of my $5 stories. I learned from my T-Mobile. I learned not to text people incorrectly anymore. So I think at the end of each episode, we should probably talk about what we learned this episode. And I want to hear, what did you guys learn from today's episode?
I learned that I'm not as confident as a chef as I thought I was, and that Italy was fucking futile because now it's just fuel to make fun of me and lower my self-esteem in cooking even more.
Do you want us to stop teasing you?
No, I just wanted better ingredients than fucking radishes and uncooked macaroni.
That's not the game, prep boy, chef boy, bitch. You learned that you were a bad chef?
I mean, that's not how I put it.
No, that's what I heard, though. Russ, what'd you learn from today's episode?
I learned that if I'm going to make out anywhere, it's got to be in a walk-in
Ew.
because it's better with Pop Rocks.
With Pop Rocks. Chilled Pop Rocks.
That's what I wrote down as my alternate to the one Steven stole earlier.
Oh, right on.
So
We're becoming a hive mind.
I learned that I have to fucking go first before these bitches take my brilliant ideas.
Follow us on social medias, our Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, just by searching for notimelikebrotime.com or NTLBT.
Yes, go ahead and smash that like button and verbally abuse that subscribe button. Make it feel like your little bitch.
You prep boy, chef
Your
boy.
prep boy, chef boy, bitch. No, please subscribe to our podcast and share with the people that you think you might enjoy it. Have we touched on before? Other brothers, cloisters, Zoomers, anybody who's out there listening.
Chefs from Italy.
Chefs from with rare hats. God, please rate us. Wherever you do listen, please give us a rating, though. It helps a lot with getting us out there even further. We would love to get a review on podchaser.com. It's kind of like IMDb, but for podcasts.
I love Podchaser.
Podchaser's my shit.
I'd give it 5 stars.
Wink.
Take the hint. Been loving our audience interaction that we've had. Thank you to those who had shared with us some of your stories and stuff. I would love to hear some more of that. Even anything you want to share with us, whether it be stories that we've specifically asked for or topics, I wouldn't mind hearing. Anything that you want to hear us talk about, send us ideas. Not that we don't have any or anything like that, but I want
Steven let the cat out of the bag.
Oh, no.
Episode 3, we're out of ideas.
Just another call to arms for more audience interaction. Right now it's a trialogue with the 3 of us. Let's make it a lots-a-log with all of you guys.
Hey, as always, I'm Mom's favorite.
I'm Dad's favorite.
And I'm Russ.
Don't do a nasty.
Pick that cactus.
Pick that cactus, butt licks.
It has been No Time Like Bro Time. Please sponsor us. This is going to be my last audio note for you for the rest of forever. Put your mic, put it almost at eye level, and I'm not even
I
joking.
speak from my mouth, dipshit.